Welcome to our lesson for today, class 8 and class 7. Today we are doing scale drawing. So this is a very simple topic for us, and at the end of this lesson you should be able to answer some very simple questions that involves scale drawing. So ensure you start with the examples that I'm giving you. You write them down, and then at the end of the lesson, you attempt the questions that I've prepared for you. So there are very few questions, of which I expect you to answer them immediately. As soon as you watch this video, you do those questions very fast, and then you send your work for marking. So if you're ready, let's get started. Remember, what is a scale? A scale is a form of a ratio. So a scale can be written in two ways. They can use a statement form. So when you're doing scale drawing, sometimes they can use a statement to show the scale that has been used. Remember, even if you're doing social studies, the distance on the map has been represented by a scale or using a scale because the actual distance cannot fit inside or on that simple paper that they've given you. So we use a scale. For example, you can say 1 centimeter represents 2,000 centimeters, or even you can say 1 centimeter represents 1 kilometers on a map. It means that 1 centimeter on a piece of paper represents 1 kilometer on the ground. So if the distance of the road maybe is 20 kilometers, you'll just measure 20 centimeters using your ruler, and that one now can be applicable when you are measuring distance on a very simple paper. So this method of using scale is very useful because it is representing some actual distance on the ground that you cannot be able to measure. A scale, like I told you earlier, is a form of a ratio, and it can be a statement form, e.g. 1 centimeter represents 2,000 centimeters, or in a ratio form. So if I write you 1:2,000, it means that 1 centimeters represents 2,000 centimeters on the ground. So 1 centimeter on a piece of paper, or 1 centimeter represents the actual. When you see 1 centimeter using your ruler, it represents 2,000 centimeters. Also remember that 1 kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters, and that 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. So if you continue also, the first thing that you're going to tackle or to do together is how to find the scale used. So in the exam, whether you're in class 7 or you're in class 8, you will always find a question that asks you to find the scale used. For example, a road measuring 5 kilometers is represented by 5 centimeters on a map. Find the scale used. So anytime someone is asking you to find the scale used, so that just know that you're going to change this, or you change the distance into the same units, and then you divide. And then your answer, you write your answer as a ratio or in ratio form. So if this road, which is 5 kilometers on the ground, is represented by 5 centimeters on a map, so what is the scale that has been used? So here we are saying that when finding the scale used, we divide after changing the units to be the same. So it is this actual distance that you are changing. So we are changing 5 kilometers to become centimeters, and then we divide. So like I told you earlier, 1 kilometer is 100,000 centimeters. So what about this 5 kilometers? So 5 times 100,000 is 500,000 centimeters. Now the units are the same. So 5 kilometers is the same as 500,000 centimeters. So we are dividing 500,000 centimeters divided by 5. And if you divide here, you can cancel. So the scale that has been used is, so by 5 here is 1, by 5 here also is 1. It is that 1 centimeter represents 100,000 centimeters. So in a ratio form, we always write like this without any units. So if you divide 500,000 divided by 5, it is 100,000. But your answer now is 1:100,000. So in a ratio form, make sure you always start with 1. It means that 1 centimeter represents 100,000 centimeters on the ground. Let's try to check another example for us to understand better. A road measuring 4.5 kilometers is represented by 5 centimeters on a map. Find the scale used. So like the previous one, the only thing you're supposed to do is to change this one to become centimeters. And remember, 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. So what about 4.5? So if you multiply 4.5 times 100,000 over 1 kilometers, if you cross multiply this one, you will find out that you are multiplying 4.5 times 100,000. So because it is having one decimal place here, you'll just cancel here with 1 0. Then it is 45 with the remaining 4 zeros. So 450,000. And then after changing this one now to become centimeters is 450,000. You divide it by 5. And if you divide by 5, you will get 90,000. So by 5 here is 1 by 5, 9. 9 with 4 zeros is 90,000. And your scale, or the scale that has been used, is 1:90,000, or 1:90,000. So let's check the last one before you attempt some questions. Let's check if this one can also be helpful to you. The length of a river is represented by 9.6 centimeters on a map. If the actual length of the river is 96 kilometers, find the scale used. So your work is to look at the actual length. So the actual length is here, as opposed to the previous one where they gave you the actual first. So 96 kilometers is the actual length of that river. So you need to change this 96 kilometers to become centimeters. So remember, 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. What about 96 kilometers? So it's 96 kilometers times 100,000. And you'll get 96 with the 5 zeros, or you can say 9,600,000. So this 9,600,000 is what you're going to divide with 9.6. So if you're going to divide 9,600,000 divided by 9.6, down here you are having a decimal, and this decimal must be removed. So how do you remove this decimal which is down here? Multiply here by 10, also here by 10. So by 10 by 10, and you will realize that here you are getting 96 million, and here you're remaining with 96 as a whole number. So 9,600,000 times 10 is 96 million, but 9.6 times 10, this one decimal place will cancel with this 0 and you remain with 96. Then you divide by 96, here is 1, by 96 here is also 1, and your answer here is 1 million. Then the scale used, or the scale used in that map is 1:1 million. So in other words, what we were saying here is that the first part that we are doing here, remember this is just class 7 work, just maybe to remind some of you candidates and also class 7 as you're being introduced to this topic, just know that when you're finding the scale used, the first thing you do, you change the units to become the same. You look at the actual length, you change it to correspond to the length that is being represented, and then you divide. So whatever you get, you write your scale in a ratio form. Your ratio form means you say it is 1:, the answer that you got. So 1 centimeter represents the answer that you got after division. Remember, there are also other units. 1 kilometer, like I told you, is equals to 1,000 meters. 1 kilometer is equals to 100,000 centimeters. And also 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters. So whichever the unit that they give you, the questions that are prepared for you, 4 questions, you'll find them in your groups and then you attempt them. So after doing the questions, send your work as fast as you can in order for me to mark. So otherwise, I want you to have a good day.